Hi Taurus, and welcome to your snapshot reading. This is for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, Venus, Jupiter placements. However, we are comprised of all 12 signs, and so don't just hold me to that. There may be other areas within your natal chart that have Taurus in them that are worth looking into. Okay, but just understand that if you clicked on this video, you were brought here for a reason. There was no coincidence in this instance, okay? And so I hope that you hear all that you need. And if the video does happen to resonate for you, then do give me a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave, okay? Let's get into it. Oh my God. What you guys have is the overlying energy, what you feel the heaviest right now, Tower moment. The cruise that hounds you, you guys have the 8 of Coins. What's real about the situation, you have the Devil card. And I feel like the Devil card kind of goes hand in hand with this 8 of Coins here because they both flipped out at the same time. I'm not necessarily sure which one flipped first. But yeah, what's wrong about the situation, you guys have the Ace of Coins. I feel like there's something that has gone over your heads or something that has gone over somebody else's head. You were trying to have like some sort of conversation, trying to make a point here, and this person just kind of like exploded out of nowhere or blew it out of proportion. Somebody has blown something out of proportion, Taurus. Is it you? Is it this other person that you're dealing with? Heavy margin energy here with the Tower card. So it can be dealing with a Scorpio because it's also crossed with this 8 of Coins, and the number 8 speaks to Scorpio's house naturally. So if this is not something that you are dealing with on an internal level, right? Things that you have internalized or repressed that are now just bubbling up from beneath the surface, you know what I'm saying? Like a volcano. It's just like you have at this point gotten to the point where you can no longer bottle things up. Then yeah, this is definitely you. And it's bad, but it's good at the same time. It's bad for those that might be within reach or around you at this time because they're not used to seeing you this way. But it's good because it's relieving that pressure here with this Tower card energy. It's like some of you guys were driving yourselves mad with whatever it was that you tried to hold back with the 8 of Coins. I feel like there is something that caused you to get there though, because if you look in the 8 of Coins card, I'm not sure if it'll focus, but he's like delicately holding that one piece. And I always get the idea, I'm not sure what that card game was that I played as a little girl, but it's like where I would take like playing cards and I would try to build like these tower structures, and you had to be very careful with how you placed it. One wrong move, you breathed too hard, the whole thing came crashing down. I feel like that's been the situation with you guys here with this 8 of Coins. There was something that was on the cherry on top. Somebody trying to push limits with you just to see how far they can go, just to see how flexible, I guess, they could get your boundaries to kind of like bend for them if this is outside of you and it's just like enough is enough. Where you need more information, you have the Page of Cups. So some serious healing needing to be done here. Healing the inner child, learning how to forgive yourself, learning how to forgive others, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you have given your power away in some sense, and that theme just keeps coming up for everybody, and I'm only saying power because that's what Scorpios are like kind of obsessed with. When I think of Scorpio, like a true Scorpio, on the point of being an evolved Scorpio, I think of Drake. And you understand just how powerful and influential of a figure he has become, okay? He wasn't in it just to, you know what I'm saying, get a Grammy, win a couple of awards, just to have attention, you know, and have hoes. Like, no. He was in it, and he's had a game plan from the beginning since back in Degrassi days, and I'm sure even before that when he was a kid in those damn commercials. I'm sure he envisioned for himself and his entire family, like his lineage, that he would really build like an empire, something that would of course outlive him. Scorpios are really good at proving people wrong that underestimate them, okay? So I feel like that is that case. But if you have given your power away to somebody, it's just forgiving yourself for allowing that in the first place, okay? And just forgiving them too. Best case scenario where you guys end, you have the Fool card. So yeah, with this Fool card, this is like once you fully allow yourself to relieve the pressure that you've been feeling, right? The burdens that you've been placing on you, the burdens that other people have been placing on you. Once you really let that go and you let it out, scream and shout if you need to with this coin's energy, you are going to be feeling like so free by the end of it, okay? And just so light here. It's like shedding skin. You get to start a whole new chapter. In matters of the heart and this being a relationship, with the Tower card, it's like things have gotten really ugly. And that's what's led up to this like explosion or the disintegration of a relationship. Because as I was saying in Scorpio's reading, Taurus, the number 8 vibrationally is the summation of what happens in the 4. So it can be like the strengthening and the building up of something, or the deterioration of, if it's not of your highest good. And so again, it's gotten to the point where this relationship has been so ugly, right? You guys have been just overly critical of one another, just really trying to beat each other down. Again, there's a lot of screaming and a lot of shouting. So there really is no balance here. The foundation wasn't solid. Maybe it's been built on half-truths or lies here with this 8 of coins, because the number 8 is Scorpio's house, which is all about like secrets, things that are hidden. So it wasn't a strong, solid foundation. So it was inevitable that it would come crashing down at one point here. You know what I'm saying? What's real about the situation? You've been sold a dream. You've definitely been sold a dream here. You've been held captive. You've been in abusive relationships. I don't know if there's another term for it outside of isolation, but it's kind of like when you get into a partnership with somebody and they want you all to themselves because they're super possessive, right? You've been in a very possessive, abusive relationship, toxic relationship or situation. They want you all to themselves, and so they will have you like ignoring your friends' calls. They don't want you around your family. You know what I'm saying? They want to get you all to themselves. And so I feel like that's kind of been the case here for a while now. But what's wrong about the situation? Of course, it's not healthy for you to only have your partner as your best friend. Anywhere that you go, they want to go with you. They want to tag along, is what I'm hearing with this Devil card. Devil card that's here. They don't want to let you out of their sight. That's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like, again, for a lot of you guys, it's like you've had enough with this 8 of coins energy. You've had enough with being told what to do, how to act, how you should look. You know what I'm saying? You're used to just kind of moving on your own accord and having that freedom. You guys don't do well with like authority figures anyway, because you know how to get the job done. So you don't really need anybody to micromanage you and always be over your shoulder. And so that it feels very suffocating is what I'm hearing. You guys have really been suffocated in this situation. And it's like, you can't take it another second, another minute, another month, another year. You're done. You're over with it. Maybe some of this buildup has come, and it doesn't mean that this person, this Devil card, is a bad person or that they were abusive in the way that I was explaining it before. Maybe it was unintentional, right? They weren't aware of how they've been behaving and how it comes across to you in this relationship. So again, part of the reason why it's gotten so bad and why it's gotten so ugly is because you weren't vocalizing how you were feeling, where you need more information in this situation. Maybe you didn't have the understanding or the knowledge of the different type of attachments, like what is it, like dismissive, avoidant, or I don't even remember all of them, but I think there are like 4 main types of bonding or attachment styles and relationships, and I'll plug them on one of these sides when I upload this video. But maybe you didn't understand, and that's like their background and their upbringing and how they were raised, and so that's what they're accustomed to, so they feel like it's normal. It's not something that's taboo to them, you know what I'm saying? They walk around, they're very uninhibited, just as people, you know what I'm saying? And so you can't necessarily blame them for the way that they are if you don't even understand how they came to be that way, especially if you don't have relationships with their friends or family. They have like an estranged relationship is what I'm hearing in that sense. And so you kind of had to come to your own conclusions, or just build what you come to know just solely off of the connection that you have with that person, but it doesn't really tell you too much. And so there is a backstory there. So it's you being open enough and having them feel safe enough to explain why they act the way that they do, you know, and explain more about their upbringing, okay? So that you guys can then find healthier solutions of how to overcome this relationship, should you not want to break up and you want to stay with this person. But again, it just got to the point where it's so ugly, so at this point you have to speak up. At this point, like, you have to verbalize, because it's just, it can't be ignored. Here it's very obvious that you guys are really unhappy in the situation that you're in right now, or how the dynamic has been going at this point. So yeah, and also I feel like some of you guys are trying to be mindful where you need more information because you have kids and you don't want them to be affected. Children should never have to endure trauma if this is not your own inner child. So I feel like for some of you guys, what's keeping you from completely separating is the fact that you don't want the child to be affected in any way. You don't want the child to kind of be held against you in any way, where you won't be able to see them, you'll miss out on important events, or like stages of their growth and development, you know what I mean? You're trying to honor how they feel, you want to stay just for the sake of having the family. But for others of you, you're definitely just trying to, again, be a little bit more compassionate. That's where you need to get more information. You just have to be a little bit more compassionate about this person, and again, and who they are, and embracing that, and embracing who you are, and getting in touch with your shadow self. Because maybe again, this has just been you and your behavior and how you've been like acting out in different ways with this Tower card energy. So it's getting in touch with your shadow and embracing it, and learning how to have restraint and discipline, exercising discipline. And when you're frustrated, just finding different ways to cope, in a sense, right? Or decompress, finding healthier ways to decompress and not taking it out on the people that you actually love and care for, because that's where you also need to be careful here, or that's what's wrong with the situation here. But again, once you let go of all this anger that you've been holding in or holding back, once you embrace the dark parts of yourself that you haven't wanted to accept, that you wanted to hide, and I'm seeing somebody that's like extremely hairy, like somebody that is uncomfortable with the fact that they have a lot of body hair. But once you just start feeling more comfortable in your own skin, God made you the way that you are for a reason, you know what I'm saying? You are perfect in his eyes. You will definitely feel better. I feel like some of you guys are holding back a lot of things, a lot of information, a lot of past trauma or experiences that you need to tell. It's part of your story. It's part of your testimony. Other people need it so that they too can heal. So I feel like you guys are looking at that. Potentially seeking out therapy if you guys have been going through a situation in a partnership that's coming up. Something that you or something that's wrong about the situation, you're not considering having a mediator, and maybe that's what you need to help you guys at this time. Somebody that can be unbiased here and offer some solid advice, and not be choosing side, right? Favoritism with this Ace of Coins card here. You need to sit with somebody that's more neutral here, and that can see it from both sides, and that may be able to play devil's advocate here and get you to see things that you wouldn't consider otherwise. So that's what's really coming up for you, Tauruses, here. If this reading did resonate, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe for more, and hit me up if you should need me for a private session. But if I don't hear from you and you don't comment in the comment section below, then just do take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again, okay? Ciao.